The A-League has produced some fantastic young players over the last 20 years. Just recently, we've seen the likes of Nestory Irankunda, Macarthur, Garang Kowal and Geordie Bos securing moves to overseas clubs. And I'm sure we are set to see another group of young players come through this season and have breakout campaigns. So we're going to go through all 13 A-League men's clubs and pick out a rising star to keep an eye on for this season. Starting off with Adelaide United, a team famous for developing fantastic young players. Keep an eye on Amlani Tatu at Adelaide this season. 16 years of age, but he's been given a contract for the first team. He plays as a winger, and at the recent Under-15 National Youth Championships, he was awarded Player of the Tournament for his age division. This is a guy with a lot of expectation for this season. Interested to see how much game time he is given. He might be utilised as a super sub in some games here and there, but as we've seen at Adelaide over the past, if these young players perform well, Carl Vert will give them minutes throughout this season. Auckland FC, the newest club in the A-League, they've brought a bunch of New Zealand talent to the club, which is great to see, and one player to keep an eye on is Liam Gillian, right winger, 21 years of age. He picked up 9 goals in just 12 appearances in the National League North over in New Zealand this year. A player we'd probably expect to be jostling with Logan Rogerson for that spot on the right flank for Auckland FC. Keep an eye on the young Kiwi attacker. At Brisbane Roar, we're going for Quinn McNichol. This is a guy who made his debut for Brisbane last year in the Australia Cup as just a 15-year-old and could be set for a big campaign this season. Potentially playing a role off the bench for Brisbane Roar this season, but he recently picked up a couple goals for the Australian Under-16s. Another one of these Aussie midfielders with a huge future ahead of him and could get the opportunity at Brisbane Roar this year. Again, you look at that Roar midfield and there's plenty of experience and quality there already with Berenguer, O'Shea, Keegan Jelicic. So it might be tricky for McNichol to get that game time, but hopefully he takes his opportunity when he gets given it by Zadkovic. The Central Coast Mariners are, of course, another club really well known for producing young players, and Hayne Eames could be another talent set for a big breakout season at Central Coast Mariners this season. Again, just 16 years of age, the midfielder. It'll be interesting to see what role he plays for the Mariners this season. Again, most likely coming off the bench, but he scored a fantastic long-range goal in a preseason match against Wellington Phoenix just the other day. So keep an eye on the 16-year-old at Mariners this season. Plenty of young talent coming through the ranks at Central Coast as always. Macarthur FC, winners of the Australia Cup. For me, I'm picking out Dean Bosniak. He made 2 appearances in the Australia Cup run, including a cameo appearance in the Cup final. 18 years of age, a lot of potential. Sajowski might look to give Bosniak some decent game time this season. At Melbourne City, I'm going to highlight Zane Schreiber, the 19-year-old midfielder. They have promoted a bunch of young guys to the first team this season, Melbourne City. But Zane Schreiber, he arrived last season at City. Unfortunately for him, didn't get too much game time due to injury, but he scored an absolute cracker in the Australia Cup round of 32 away to Perth Glory and could be set for a real breakout season at Melbourne City this year, especially with some of the departures they've had. There could be an opportunity for a young guy like Zane Schreiber to step up this season in that City midfield. Next up is probably the player I think we're expecting to feature the most out of this full list of players this upcoming season. It's Casey Bos at Melbourne Victory. I think we can expect Casey Bos to be the starting left back at Victory this season. In their Australia Cup run, which saw them get to the final, Casey Bos was starting ahead of the experienced Adama Traore in left back. Just 20 years of age, and of course the brother of Socceroo Geordie Bos. He made 4 appearances and scored 1 goal in their Australia Cup run and made 4 A-League men's appearances at the back end of last season. You might remember that promising cameo appearance in that elimination final at home against Melbourne City as well. So potentially a big breakout season coming up for Casey Bos, and he'll be hoping to really lock down that left back position and hopefully for him follow his brother on a big move overseas and potentially a Socceroos call up in the near future. Robbie Stanton has been doing a really good job of giving more game time to younger players at Newcastle Jets, and I think we can expect that once again for this upcoming season. And for them, I'm picking out Ben Gibson. I think it's a really smart signing from Newcastle Jets. Obviously, they've lost a lot of quality up front. Apostolos Stamatolopoulos scored so many goals for them. Ben Gibson could be the player to provide those goals for the Jets this season. He's just 21 years of age. He featured for Apia Leichhardt in NPL New South Wales this year, scoring 14 goals in just 21 appearances for the club. He'll obviously be jostling with the likes of Wellersol and Lockie Rose and Justin Vidic for that striker position, but Ben Gibson, again, if he gets his opportunity, if he can bag a couple goals early in the season, this could be a big breakout season for the 21-year-old striker. Perth Glory is another side I think we can expect to see a lot of young players get some decent game time at this season, but I'm picking out Abdelila Faisal, who is super impressive in in their few appearances in the Australia Cup. He was fantastic on debut in that playoff game against Brisbane Roar. He scored 3 goals in the 3 Australia Cup matches that they had this year. He was signed from Macarthur FC's academy and looked absolutely electric in the wide positions. Adelaide Utd, keep an eye on him at Perth Glory this year. A lot of attention with Sydney FC this season is obviously on the experienced stars that they've brought in for this season, Douglas Costa being the main one. But someone like Nathan Amanatides could be set to take his game to another level. In the A-League last year, he did end up making 12 appearances, but he did score his first goal for Sydney FC just recently in the Asian Champions League 2. Again, might have to settle for a spot on the bench, but this could be a big season where he does take his game to that next level this season at Sydney FC. Bunch of good young players coming through from the academy at Sky Blues, but Amanatides could get some decent game time this season. For my pick for Wellington Phoenix, I'm going for Gabriel Sloan Rodriguez. He's a winger, 17 years of age, and especially with the departures of Kraev, of Ben Old in those attacking, especially wide areas, there could be an opportunity for someone like Sloan Rodriguez to come in and get some game time at Wellington Phoenix. Really interested to see how Wellington line up this season with some of those key departures. There should be some young players getting some good game time this season. It's good to see that they are once again promoting a bunch of young guys to that first team. Gabriel Sloan Rodriguez, 17-year-old winger, could get his chance this season. Not too many youngsters in the Western Sydney squad, and some of the youngsters that they do have are already pretty well established, the likes of Alex Bonatig in defence, Aiden Simmons as well, just 21 years of age. But keep an eye on Ben Holiday. He's recently signed from Moreton City Excelsior, who notably made it to the quarterfinals of the Australia Cup this year. He plays on a winger predominantly on that left-hand side. In the Australia Cup finals rounds, Holiday picked up 1 goal and 2 assists. 22 years of age, and great to see that a player has been given an opportunity from an NPL club, now at an A-League team here. Ben Holiday with an opportunity here at Western Sydney Wanderers. When you look at Western United's transfer window, a lot of the ins have been young players, especially from their academy. And Abel Wallati could be one of these guys set for a real breakout season in the A-League. Did make 3 appearances off the bench towards the back end of last campaign, scoring a fantastic goal against Perth Glory, and he'll be eager to take his game to the next level at Western this season. And again, I think this is one team we can expect a lot of young players to get some good game time at this season under head coach John Aloisi. Wallati, the winger, 20 years of age, keep an eye on him at Western United this season. So there's 13 rising stars to keep an eye on in the A-League men's this season. Who did I miss? Who are you expecting a breakout season from this year in the A-League? I'm sure we're going to see plenty of youngsters have fantastic seasons this upcoming A-League season. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure to stay subscribed for more A-League content coming up this season. Hit the like button on the way out. My name's Lockie. This is Coastwatch Football, and I'll see you in the next one.